Cowboys Nation, what is going on? We are live here from Indianapolis at the 2026 NFL Combine, and let me tell you right now, there is a lot to unpack after Brian Schottenheimer stepped to the podium. This wasn't just coach speak. This wasn't just generic offseason filler. There were real clues, real direction, and some very telling comments about the future of this football team. So buckle up, because today we are breaking it all down in detail, from the George Pickkins situation to the linebacker overhaul, the defensive line philosophy shift, the running back room, the nickel question, and what the plan really is for this offensive line moving forward. Let's start with the headline topic, the one everyone here in Indy keeps circling back to. George Pickkins. Schottenheimer was asked multiple times about Pickkins, and that alone tells you how important this situation is. When a coach gets repeated questions about one player, especially at the Combine, that's not accidental. It means the league is watching. It means agents are watching. It means front offices are watching. Schottenheimer's tone was calm, steady, and honestly very businesslike. He made it clear that this is part of the process. He talked about relationships not changing, whether it was Pickkins, CeeDee Lamb, or Dak Prescott when they were navigating their own contract situations. That comparison matters. When you put Pickkins in the same breath as Dak and CeeDee, you're signaling value. Now, let's be honest about what's happening here. The franchise tag looms large over this conversation. Pickkins' agent reportedly isn't a fan of the tag. And here's the reality of the business side. Until a player signs that tag, there's technically no contract to hold out from. That creates a very strange limbo. You're not holding out, but you're also not fully committed. It's a leverage dance. My gut feeling, based on how this organization has operated before, is that this could drag deep into the summer, potentially right up to that July extension deadline. We've seen this movie before with players like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys often take it to the edge. That doesn't mean a deal won't get done. It just means patience will be tested. What was fascinating, though, is Schottenheimer talking about building the offense in a way that moves Pickkins around more. That's not a small tweak. That's philosophical evolution. You cannot run back the exact same offense in today's NFL and expect different results. Defenses adjust, film circulates, tendencies get exposed. If Pickkins is going to be a long-term centerpiece, you have to treat him like one, motion him, move him into the slot, create mismatches, force defenses to declare coverage. That adjustment alone tells me the Cowboys aren't shopping him. They're planning with him in mind. Now, shift to the linebacker room, because this might be where the biggest transformation happens. You know, Schottenheimer lit up talking about DeMarvion Overshown. He emphasized how important a full offseason is for a young player, especially one coming off injury. That development window is critical. Young linebackers need reps. They need film. They need physical growth. Overshown is clearly someone this staff believes in, and belief matters when you're building continuity. Shamar James was another name that came up, described as instinctive, always around the football, even when he was swimming mentally. That's coach language for learning on the fly, but still producing. Instincts can't be taught. If you have them, coaches will work with you. Justin Barron was mentioned as well, another young piece. But the real curveball was the position switch for Marist Liufau. Moving Liufau to outside linebacker is significant. This signals a structural shift toward a true 3-4 base look. And Schottenheimer made it clear this is not the old school read and react 2-gap 3-4. This is aggressive, vertical, one-on-one matchups. They want their outside linebackers to set the edge first, affect the quarterback second, and drop occasionally. That's a modern hybrid edge role. Liufau's length, over 34-inch arms, fits that mold. Length is currency in today's NFL. It disrupts passing lanes. It creates leverage in the run game. But I'll be honest with you, this move feels pivotal for Liufau. In position switches can revive careers, but they can also signal urgency. When Kelvin Joseph was moved to nickel corner a few years back, it felt like a last-ditch attempt to unlock something. This is not identical, but it carries similar stakes. Liufau doesn't have elite twitch. Schottenheimer admitted that, so the question becomes, can strength and length compensate enough to thrive off the edge? Training camp will tell us a lot. Now let's talk about the running back room. Javonte Williams returning was clearly a priority. Schottenheimer called him ascending, young, and a leader. That word, ascending, is powerful. It suggests they believe his best football is still ahead. There was also mention of learning how to manage him late in the season, especially in his first year as a true bell cow. That's growth, not just from the player, but from the coaching staff. Jaden Blue was praised for maturing over the season. The playful jab about Louis Vuitton shoes shows something important too. There's comfort in that room. There's chemistry. Phil Maffa got love. Malik Davis was mentioned. Hunter Luepke had a strong exit interview wanting a bigger role. When players ask for more responsibility, that's usually a good sign. It means they feel capable. Reading between the lines, it feels like the Cowboys are comfortable running it back at running back. Maybe they do due diligence with a prospect like Jeremiah Love if he's there and the board falls a certain way. But barring something unexpected, this room likely stays intact. Defensively, the defensive tackle conversation might be the most strategic of all. Kenny Clark anchoring at nose. Osa Odigizua moving between 3-tech, 4-eye, maybe even 5-tech in certain fronts. The 3-4 isn't static, it's multiple. That's the key word. You can line up in a 3-4 shell and still create 4-man rush looks. You can manipulate protection schemes. Schottenheimer made a critical point. From an offensive coach's perspective, the 3-4 forces protection declarations. It creates one-on-one matchups, and if you trust your interior talent, that's exactly what you want. Keeping the defensive core intact, Clark, Odigizua, and others, will require contract creativity, but philosophically, the direction is clear, aggression up front. Now, the nickel corner spot, this might quietly be one of the biggest roster questions. Schottenheimer described the nickel role perfectly. You have to cover like a corner, tackle like a linebacker, and blitz like a safety. That's not easy. That's why elite nickels get paid. The Cowboys clearly missed that versatility after losing Jordan Lewis. Darren Bland could slide inside. He has the instincts. But do they want him there full time, or do they draft someone, trade, sign a veteran? The outside corner group has pieces. Bland, Carson, young developmental players, but it feels like they're one player short. Not necessarily a superstar, but a stabilizer, someone who can allow flexibility. Finally, the offensive line, the ideal scenario, keep Tyler Smith inside, pair him with Tyler Booker and Cooper Beebe. That interior trio could be special, but health dictates reality. If injuries hit again, Smith might kick outside. The staff emphasized playing the best 5. That's the philosophy. TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman were praised as glue guys. Depth matters. In a 17-game season, you're not getting through it without testing that depth. So what's the overarching theme from Indianapolis? Continuity with evolution. The Cowboys don't appear ready for a massive offensive overhaul. They believe in their core. But defensively, especially at linebacker and along the front, there's philosophical adjustment happening. The 3-4 base, the outside linebacker reshuffling, the nickel search, these are not minor tweaks. And the George Pickkins situation will loom over all of it. If he signs long-term, it stabilizes the offense emotionally and financially. If it drags, the noise will grow louder. For now, it's a holding pattern. Cowboys Nation, this offseason feels like a hinge point, not a rebuild, not an all-in gamble, but a recalibration. And what happens over the next few months with contracts, draft picks, and position battles will shape whether 2026 is a step forward or another frustrating plateau. If you've enjoyed this deep dive from the Combine, make sure you like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for daily Cowboys coverage. We've got a lot more coming from Indianapolis, and you do not want to miss what's next.